Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Veeam Community Recap, captured at the Veeam 100 Summit. I am Rick Vanover. I'm joined with Maddie right back from holiday. How you doing, Maddie?
I am great, Rick. I'm great to be here in Prague from our annual Veeam 100 Summit, and it's really amazing to be with all our community, our top experts from all around the world. So we're going to have some special guests in this show as well. We promised something special. We're going to have something special. So why don't we just start with the first one?
We will. Let's see. I'm counting in the room and you all will see it. 3, 6, 9, 10 special guests. So let's start. First up, we've got Matthias. Come on up, Matthias from Germany.
Hello together.
Welcome. And Matthias, first time at the Veeam 100 Summit. What are your impressions?
Yeah, I like it very much. It's a very nice location. I wasn't here since I was a child, and I really liked a number of high-level Veeam employees that are here, and I had really good conversations also outside the summit.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Matthias. You brought up a good point. We have over 500 dev and QA people and product management here in Prague, and this technical folk, this is what they love. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, next up is Joost from the Netherlands, one of the user group leaders of Vanguard. First time at Summit?
First time Summit, second year as Vanguard.
Awesome. So what are your impressions this year at the Veeam 100 Summit?
The impressions, the people together, they are really nice, a lot of knowledge, willing to help each other. It's really great to be here.
Yeah, spirit of community is real. That's the number one reason why we're here, and then beyond that is the products and the access to the product management. So hope to see you back next year. Joost, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, now we are moving
Thank you.
quick.
Let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
Luis from Spain.
How you doing,
a
everyone?
BUG leader and a legend.
Thank you.
How are you, Luis?
Good. How are you doing?
This is your first time.
First
right?
time ever here, and awesome experience. A lot of people, a lot of content, community everywhere. This is amazing.
Well, it's
Love it.
tough because I met you first at VeeamON in Miami,
Yes.
and just in the hallway, I'm like, "Hey, Luis Frejas," and you're like, "Hey, good job," because there's a
Right.
lot of people, but that's different. We don't get that one-on-one time.
Exactly. Now we have more time for engagement and for one-to-one conversations.
I don't know. I'm still pretty weird about the time, but no, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Luis.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Luis.
All right, next up, a returning expert to the Veeam 100 Summit, Dipen Kumar from the UK.
Hello.
You're back again.
I am indeed.
All right, so I'm going to give you a different set of questions.
Go for it.
What is your favorite capability that you've learned about thus far? And we're mostly through the whole experience, but any capability really stick out?
So with the upcoming version of Veeam 12.1, the ransomware inline scanning and malware scanning is definitely going to be really interesting.
Indeed.
And really looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. I think that it's a super deep capability. There's a lot of individual capabilities that we have to be, aware of. That one is by far the biggest. So thank you, Dips.
Thank you.
Keep
It's
on
great
being
to have
awesome.
you here.
Might have another. No, I won't have another comment about any dreams that he was in a dream. I shared it. It was a
He
good.
had to say it.
I had
He
to.
say it.
I
But
still remember it.
I
though.
can't remember what was the episode when you mentioned it.
It was recently, but I
Yeah.
remember it correctly. It was actually related to Summit. It's like,
So
hey.
watch the last few episodes. You're gonna see all about that dream.
Yeah. All right. Now we're switching a little bit. We've got a Veeam MVP. These are Veeam employees who kind of behave like Vanguards and Legends and go above and beyond in their job. First up, Brad Lynch from Colorado in the USA. Brad, first Summit?
First Summit,
All right. Long-time listener.
first time caller.
There you go. What are some of your impressions of the Summit thus far?
Yeah, the Summit's been great, right? I mean, to get both internal members of Veeam and external members of Veeam and have them all together, learn how they contribute to the community. It's been really fun, side conversations, and I mean, just in general, this has been at Veeam for 6 years now. Most excited I've been for a release. I mean, everything we've asked for from product management and R&D, they are bringing to us.
No, there were plenty of things that were asked for today so far that have not come from. The roadmap is a never-ending story. Let me say it that way.
Yeah.
But let's just say we're making incredible progress.
Definitely.
That's
Awesome.
true, and also wanted to mention that he's the winner of our poker night. Last night we
Yeah,
had
can
a
I zoom
great
in on that?
event
Put it
happening.
up in the middle there, Brad. Let's see if
There
we
you
can.
go.
Look at that.
This
Look
whole-
at
this
that.
whole- this whole thing.
Blinky,
Yeah.
blink.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing
Thank you.
that with
And you're the
us.
curator of lynchtips.com.
Yes, yes.
At VMon, I introduced him as this is Brad from lynchtips.com. All right, next up is Tyler. Is it Jurgens or Jurgens?
Jurgens.
Jurgens, first guest. Should have stayed there. And you told me, but I know it's Canada.
Alberta.
Alberta, that's right. That's that province next to BC.
That's right, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this is your first time, right?
First
Just
summit.
the summit.
First
yes.
summit. It's incredible. I love the content. I mean, the content's great. Lots of new features. But really, honestly, I love the community. I love meeting the people that I've only ever got to see, maybe over a forum post or, maybe a video chat here. But seeing these people live and being able to have one-on-one conversations with them, talking to other people that do the same things I do, be able to just interact and get some of that knowledge from them and maybe share some of that knowledge I have. It's incredible. That's what I love most.
This
I
is
just love
definitely
it.
a different experience, a different level,
100%
right?
different than anything I've
Yes,
seen.
I'm
Well-
glad you made it.
Yeah, and
The
we
summit.
made sure we have a lot of time on the breaks, even though I'm cutting into the break to do this, but we make sure we have time on the breaks for the networking. I try to give longer lunges and stuff. Awesome. Hope to see you back next year, Tyler.
Yeah.
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you
for
so
being
much.
with us.
All right, going back into this will be the second individual. Wesley, come on up. From Brazil. Now, former
Hello.
Vanguard,
Yeah, former Vanguard.
now MVP.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Hi, Mom.
I'm on camera.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I was dreaming to be back, so now as an employee, part of being MVP, so it's awesome. It's always good to have a chance to talk with everyone that I talk daily basis on chat, finally meet in person, so it's wonderful.
And Wesley's from our support organization,
Yeah,
and
support.
Wesley, you were one of the first to qualify, and this year we have two from support, and this is really important to me because I've learned a long time ago that Veeam support is a critical part of that overall experience. Keep it real.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Wesley.
Thank you.
Awesome. Now we're going to go a little different. Now I've got Hannes Kasparek from Austria. He's one of our co-conspirators of all of these programs. And Hannes, you got a different view on here. Tell me about your role in the Summit and the MVP program.
Yeah, for me, I'm involved in the VMVP program, leading calls every 2 weeks. We have internal chats where we talk about new things. And yeah, for this event, I'm working together with Rick and his team, Madalena and others, that we just make it a smooth experience for everyone. And yeah, I love it. For me, it's the third time, and I enjoy it again and again. So.
He keeps coming back and bringing more people, so that's a good sign. So thank you so much for all your collaboration
Thank
on
you,
this
Hannes.
as
Great
well.
having
All
you.
right, we're bringing it home here. Next up is Tim Smith from Ohio. Now, also like
Well,
Wesley,
team.
you former Vanguard,
Yep.
has transitioned to an MVP as he's joined Veeam. And if I remember right, you were much like our next guest in the original class.
Yes.
So OG represent. So, Tim, kind of like Brad as an employee, what kind of capabilities, or is there any type of set of capabilities that really stick out for you?
So there's a couple that are still red that I can't talk about.
I don't want to edit, so don't
with
you be dropping
BB365.
anything.
So I'll just say the BB365 stuff that's coming out is really going to be by far, I think, the best thing. I know we have so much stuff with 12.1,
Yeah.
but BB365 is dear to my heart.
Well, you focus on emerging strategic products in your role as an architect, so yeah, it's really amazing to see products mature, products grow, market share. We believe we're the most deployed backup solution for Microsoft 365 in the world, whether it's in the cloud, from a service provider, or customer on-prem. So keep it real. Thank you so much.
Yeah, can I just add, I know
Yeah.
we've talked about community with everybody else, but being part of the original class with this guy that's coming up after me, it's just so cool to see the progression of Vanguards throughout the years coming in, and then how they change careers or how they progress in their careers. And it's neat to see that the community isn't just a program where we get to have a cool trip. It's a program where people develop and proceed in the bigger, better roles.
Yeah, I could think of countless examples of people's personal jobs, their professional careers materially improved, and you're walking into the psychology of why we run these programs as well as to help this capital C community to do a little bit better and doing everything we can to help them. So awesome, Tim. Thank you so much. And
Thank you, Tim.
he's Mr. Reddit, by the way. I think it's T. Smith Co. on Reddit.
T. Smith CO.
T. Smith
And
Co.
the last guest, special guest, is Craig.
Hello.
Hello, Craig. All the way from the UK.
No, it's Scotland.
Oh my goodness, what did I do? Yes,
that's
from
okay.
Scotland.
Scotland.
Thanks for having me.
How
So,
are you?
I'm good. Having a great conference.
yeah, now Craig, I got 2 questions for you.
Two.
So we have no script. My first question to you is, and I even put it on the agenda, the Dalrymple toast. Tell me about how that happened and how you roll with it.
So the toast started way back. 2015 was the inaugural event. Vanguard program started. Veeam were kind enough to invite us out to VeeamOne in Vegas 2015. And being Scottish, I've got to educate people in the ways of whiskey. So we started off with a small 1 bottle, 2015. Jump forward to 2023, it became a regular occurrence on the conferences, on the summits. Jump forward till last night, we had our toast, and we had 26...
Several
bottles
Yes.
on the program for the toast. But yeah, it's just something, the way I do the talk is I welcome in some of the new vanguards and new MVPs, the new legends, and then to sort of recognise the old guys as well, so it's the old people as well. So it's kind of new friends and old acquaintances. That's the way I always like to try.
Heart of community. So, Craig, I even put it on the agenda. I mean, that's something that I think the audience really likes. So I really appreciate you doing the extra bits there. So, having been through it all,
Yep.
whether it's be a VeeamOne or the 100 Summit, Vanguard Summit, and more, is there a capability, and it's okay if it's already been called out, is there a capability, Craig, that you're like super interested in?
Yeah, so I think a couple of guys have touched on it already. The 12.1 releases the inline ransomware, probably really good. Coming from the VCSP background, service provider background, Tim alluded to it, version 8 of the M365 agent, I think that's going to be a big thing. So big changes in there that make a big difference to the MSPs that are offering that service out there.
For sure, so awesome. Thank you so much, Craig. We really appreciate
Thank
everything
you,
you
Craig.
do
Great to have you.
for the community. Now, Maddie, we're in the home stretch. Any kind of thoughts on your side about this, the community engagement here?
Yes, absolutely. It's been really great. Yesterday we had so much engagement over the sessions that we had, so many good questions, and I think everyone got to learn a lot out of it. And we had some great events as well. We are having a party tonight, so I'm looking forward to that, and I'm pretty sure everyone is looking forward to the party as well. And I'm really looking forward to work in 2024 with all these Veeam 100 members, because we have so many opportunities and so many great projects coming in.
Yeah, one of the best things we do, Maddie, is really just give a chance for the Veeam 100 to get elevated, whether it's on Veeam properties or even their own. And myself, Maddie, her team, with Nikki and Sophia, and really Hannes with product management, from Veeam 100 show to things you don't see even. We have all kinds of things that we do. Natural question is, how do I get involved? Number one, join the community hub. We rock the leaderboard. That's really how legends are from a primary selection data point are chosen. Rock the Veeam forums. Hannes and his team help out there. Engage in the user groups. And then at the end of the year, we're going to take applications for Vanguard program.
Yes, and then again, the first intake in 2024 for Legends and so on and so forth. We are always busy in our community. So yeah, just follow us, as Rick said, in the community, get engaged in there. And you might be part of Veeam 100 next.
Yeah, especially for Legends, it's super metric driven and internally for MVPs as well. All right, Maddie, thank you so much for everything
Thank you, Rick.
you do. And stay tuned on this video because I'm going to do the demo of 12.1 that I promised. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to demo, but I'm going to pick from one of their favorites. We'll see you next week.
Okay, for this week's demo, I'm actually going to go by what a lot of people thought was pretty interesting, and that is the malware detection. So what I'm looking at here is the disk section, right? So in the disk section, you can see that I have a number of restore points and jobs, but you'll see that they have this marker right there, the malware infected marker, right? So I have intentionally set a number of, I don't want to call it bad, but infected or potentially infected systems in this environment. So if you see this, and you know, if you're up here, you won't see it, right? But if you go here, you will. So it'll show up in the inventory. And the thought is that these images, so in this environment, let's see, what do I have? I have 2 virtual machines and 3 Windows agents. So across those, they're marked as 2 different things, which is important. They're marked as either infected, which is a positive determination of some sort of infection. And then this other collection of 4 here are suspicious, right? And they're marked as suspicious because of encrypted data. And the one that's explicitly marked as infected is because of extensions and a malware scan. So it's really interesting to just highlight that there's many different pieces of logic going on. Let me show you how we got to that point. So if I go into the settings, first of all, these are 2 different pieces of logic. Now I did cover this a little bit on VeeamON Resiliency Summit, but I had a pretty tight timeline, so I'm just going to talk to them explicitly. Let's start in the red box. Enable file system activity analysis is really a whole bunch of logic that is like deleted a bunch of files, or a whole bunch of file extensions, especially known types, show up like little, you know, breadcrumbs of a potential threat. And what's also important is we have over 4,000 different things that we're looking for, and they can be updated automatically. Now this system is connected to the internet because it's a demo system, but a lot of production environments are not. You can update this with a file, and that'll be upon GA of 12.1. That'll be something that we have documented. So it's important to note that these are really 2 separate pieces of logic. And then the inline detection up here, this one is really attractive as well, because it's just looking at the image, at the capture, and it takes some CPU. That's the important thing to note. But luckily, CPU isn't the the most contentious resource. So I have it set to the extreme setting. You know, this little slider reminds me a lot of the backup IO control setting, where we can kind of set how much resources are taken from a backup when it is related to the read of the production storage. This is how aggressive the analysis of the backups will happen. Do we see a lot of encrypted files, right? That type of stuff. So this is a really simple way to get here. And then also, I should highlight that if an external system like your endpoint EDR or other centralized management systems detects that there's a detection of a threat in something that's protected by Veeam, this API will tell it to do a quick backup. So that's nice. You'll have an additional restore point as quick as possible to prevent any further damage. And then the last section here is specific email notifications for threat actions. That control there is actually the same as other email settings, but it would trigger when this type of event happens, right? So you'll see that that looks pretty familiar. And also, it's set up here. I'd highly recommend it going to 2 different people at a minimum, a security team and individual backups, or a group, something like that. Now, back to what we found here. As you can see, I have two explicit different tests that were met here. One is that I found a file extension of malware, and the other is the explicit antivirus scan. Now, how did that happen? So let's see what we have. We can take a look at the history to see how these things came about. So let's start with one that was previously marked as actually infected. So the one that is called victim. First of all, what did I do? I put a file type on the system of a known ransomware threat, and then that file, I actually filled it with contents of that, known test sample virus. So for those of you who are system admins for a long time, this thing, I just put basically this file content inside of a file extension of a known ransomware. So basically, and it logs it that the threats have been detected by the content scan. And this was the built-in detection, but let me show you the other one here. We sort it by infected, right? So this one is the same system, okay? It's a victim. But you'll see here, this is the file extension, right? So this file that I made, and that is a known ransomware type of threat, compared to this one is the combination that marks this both as, file extension and the secure restore type of capability with the explicit scan, right? So these are the steps that I took to get that particular system to have those two individual ones. So I think that's an important way to look at the malware detection, because once you have it flagged, and it's per object, so with these 3 agent backups and these 2 virtual machine backups, this kind of cascades through the inventory over here. And it's important to note that it also will go down through these inventories, right? So if I look over here, I see more. If I look over here, those are clean. That's good. Even into here, well, that one I knew that I did a different way, right? So I know that those infections only trickled through those areas. So I think that's pretty cool. Now the last thing I'll show you, this was also kind of cool. I learned something new about this. Let's see if I can do this. The AI assistant actually supports other languages. No, I need a better question than that. Let's just see here. Let's see if I can do this with my Spanish here. It's hard to talk in English and type in another language at the same time. I'm trying to ask if I can put backups in the cloud. So I got an English answer, and I can also say something like, but I can kind of feed some of the different questions in other languages. Let me see if I can do this. I'm asking here if does Veeam support tape. And for those of you who speak Spanish, that's probably a horrible Spanish. See, look at that. Look, I did it. So the AI assistant can even respond back to you in your own local languages. So that is something I actually just learned recently, right? So that's a nice way that we can have a little bit more, kind of accessibility in other languages. I hope you liked this video. This recap, we had a special one here in Prague this week, and we will see you next week on the weekly recap.